Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd, and welcome to the QOL Trading Pre-Market Analysis. Lots of excitement this morning. Flush that everybody's probably been anticipating right now. Let's see what the NASDAQ's doing right now. NASDAQ almost down a little under, down about 870 points, and the S&P is down over 100. And sentiment, I think, it's pretty much, kind of directed towards Kevin Warsh and the new Fed. And everything seems to be focused on yields right now. The 10-year is over $4, or 4% rather. And the 2-year, they're looking at the 2-year right now, and I think there's a big spread there, but they don't know which one to believe. And when the market flushes like this, it's all because of uncertainty. So nobody really knows the direction there. So we'll get into things in 1 second here. I am just trying to get here and copy. Boom. Okay, so lots of exciting things happening right now. We are almost ready to start putting our indicator on for market right now, and it's not necessarily an indicator that is going to tell you when to buy or sell. It's pretty much a charting analyzing tool, and it charts the opening range break, and it identifies breakouts, and we'll go over that later on in this video as far as what we've added to this tool, this trading tool. And you can use it however you want. Obviously, you still have to make your own decisions whether you want to take a trade or not. But we'll get more into that in a minute. So let's go over what we have today right now. Weekly unemployment change came out. That's not what impacted the market. The market's kind of opened up flushed right now. So we are... I think there's just a lot of uncertainty happening right now. You've got some Fed speak down, or not Fed speak. You got Governor Malcolm speaking for Canada. PMI manufacturing at 845 and services. Then we have some Fed speak later on today. I don't think that's going to impact things as far as tomorrow. What are we waiting for? I think we're waiting for Thursday. You're going to have crude oil inventories on tomorrow at 9:30. I think that may be something that to keep an eye on. You're also going to have new home sales, so we can watch that number as well. And then Thursday, you have the GDP quarter over quarter, and then the price index quarter over quarter, along with unemployment claims, durable good orders. So you got a slew of things on Thursday. So when you're looking at these economic charts and you see the different color folders, they tell you that if it's a red folder, that whatever data comes out could impact the market. And then orange is a medium impact, and then a yellow should have non-impact. However, when you have multiple yellows, they combine and they could make a stronger impact on the market. So you have to be prepared for that as well. Getting into Friday, finishing up, you have University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and that's going to be about it for the week at 9 o'clock. So let's get into things. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. So the VIX, so you can see, as expected, the VIX is elevated right now. You got a nice little gap up here. I'll put that in later on. I'm not going to do it right now. However, we still have these gap downs that we're talking about. We have one from April 8th down, up at $25.74. So it looks like it's pushing towards that direction right now. And then one last gap down from March 30th, sitting at $30.34. So if you do get above that $25.74, there could be more flush. And then probably if we can get it at $30.34 on the VIX, that could probably mean that the flush could be kind of running out of steam. So, but right now, it's kind of the start of things. So you got to watch where we're at here. Pretty sure that that's the 100-day moving average that we're sitting at $20.11. So watch those levels right there. Would not be surprised if the market pulls back to this maybe 200 level, $18.62, and then pushes back up. So we could be getting some decent flush right now, and then But to me, that starts to create some opportunities, right? Anyways, let's get into oil, see what oil is doing. Oil is not moving at all, which is positive. We want to get oil down here to that $67.83, from that gap up from February 27th. We like it down there at that level here. It's better for us in the gas pumps. But we still have some gap down areas at $84.34 above us. And then, however, we are still below all these moving ranges here, the moving targets, the moving averages rather. $86.14 a barrel. So that's, we like that. We don't like it to be, I wish that 20 was closer down here. So we don't have that much room, because these moving averages tend to act like magnets, right? And the markets tend to follow them and attract to those levels. So right now we are below the 200-day moving average, which is pretty good, sitting there at 73.66. So hopefully we can continue to get some flush on the oil side, even though the markets are flushing today. So let's get over to the ES. Now the ES is to be expected. Creating a nice little speed zone here, though, when you're having this flush here during pre-market here. You can see down here, it's not a lot of volume here. However, it is flushing. You have to respect that. I would not mind today. Hopefully we'll hold this 50-day moving average of 17.98, call it. If we lose that, we have this open point of control I've been talking about since June 11th, 73.6342. Below that, you're going to have June lows at 72.9225. I think it's important for us to hold June lows. I don't think we want to lose the low of the month. However, it certainly looks like that we're pushing towards that level right here. I think right here you got a little break and retest happening here at this 74.7225. So the market broke that level, and now we could come back up and test it. So if the market does pop today, 74, call it 74.9827, could get some resistance there if you are trading, trading S&Ps. Watch those levels there. So let's get into the SPY. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. And then also in the chat over to the right, you can click on our website, QOLtrading.com, put your name and email address in there, and you'll get weekly newsletter that we put out. We put out 14 editions so far. Pretty much goes over the market review, the weekend review, and then what's to be expected next. Also below that link, you have the link to get into our Discord channel. It's the WAP. And there's going to be 3 tiers coming up. One is the free tier to get into the Discord. And when you buy into the Discord, actually you don't buy into it, it's free. You get these free channels here. The pre-market analysis, I'd put a link in here for where you are today. And then there's a levels channel here. If you have any certain stocks that you want me to go over, you just drop a note for me one way or the other, and I'll go over those levels. However, I do not go over any penny stocks. And then also down here, you got a link to get into our WAP station, right? And that gives you all the access for everything. So currently right now you have a free access here, and that gives you in the Discord. And then you have the trading desk, which is $39.99 a month for live trading that we do from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time every day. There is going to be a third membership once we start putting out this new indicator that we're going to be going over shortly. Very excited about that, people. So stay tuned for that. SPY right now, I got to hold the 731.75. It's a weekly low from May 12th, and it's sitting right above the 50-day moving average, 730.95. If you lose that, I don't have much left until 722.59, which is June lows. I think it's very important that we hold June lows. This month, if we lose June lows, I think there's going to be more flush going into July and maybe towards the end of the month there. So, important to hold this level right now. Break and retest probably. I would probably put this level right here for today for just intraday trading purposes, not long term, of course. I would say right here you got a low that it broke. Classic break and retest. If you pop back up here, this could be a level here of resistance, 739.22. It also falls in line with my midline regressional trend line here that I drew on June 15th. And so if if we fan out here, you can see this regressional trend line here that it's been respecting and losing. So you got to watch that level there. So let's get over to the NASDAQ. Keep on chugging along. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button and like this video. Let's start up taking a holistic view here. Here's the 4-hour chart of the NASDAQ. You can see, big sell-off right now. We did fill this June 12th point of control at 29,903. So I'm going to say for today, you've got some, again, the same thing on these June lows here. We're still quite a bit away. So very important. I think all these markets need to hold June lows. And then this little flush, to me, will just be a buying opportunity. So you have a low here at 29,507. I know it's about 400 points away there. That's going to be important, but we are looking at a 4-hour chart. So let's take a look at the 15-minute, more at a macro level here. So you still have that 29,507 level there. I don't really have much, and that's going to help that. You're going to want to probably hold this 29,750.94 level. That's probably going to be pretty important there. And that I know that is I think that is a low. I'm not sure where that low came in, but I'll go back and I'll look at that later on. But here's my next line of support here. I don't have anything, as you can see, I don't have much supporting any of this right here. However, on the upside now, we talk about speed zones all the time. If you could regain this 30,000 and call it $50, you could push back up into the 20-day moving average at $30,222 before you get a little resistance up there. If you can regain that, then this entire move is going to be gone. You'll come back up into this lower regressional trend line that I have here from June 15th. And then let me just fan out a little bit here to show you that line. And so this level right here will be a resistance level if we pop back up here, right? Because it was holding the level, popped up here on the 18th, held that level, held again in post-market, tried to dip below in pre-market, held it again, and then we lost it. So this is your classic break and retest. This is the ideal if the market pushes all the way up here that you're going to get a little resistance up here at 30,000, call it 30,000 even, right? But one thing to keep in mind, we are below the 20-day moving average. I'm not thinking long until we get above that for sure, right? So I think today, based on the flush that we're getting, probably pop and fades. What does pop and fade mean? That the market pops and then fades. That's what we're looking at today. However, we could flush out. If we did flush out all the way down here to this 29,000, which would be a significant move, we do have we have a bunch of confluence levels here. Got a point of control from June 11th at 29,044, and it's sitting right above the 50-day moving average at 29,028. So you're going to watch that. And again, we don't want to lose June lows no matter how much we flush here. Right? We are only on Tuesday, so it could be the beginning of a volatile week here. So, and let's get over the Qs, and then we will move on. The Qs, same thing. We have this open point of control at 723. That's a target I like right here. I know I have down here this June 12th, 711 target here of a low. I think that this is probably more realistic if we continue to get some flush today. And then it is sitting above the 50-day moving average, sitting at 695.74. Below that again, typical are what we're talking about. June lows 686.37. So you want to hold those levels. On the flip side, same thing. This becomes a speed zone, people. Not a lot of volume here on this big flush down here. However, these flash wicks, I really don't know what to make of them. I've been seeing them a lot this year. So and on all charts, not just on all platforms rather. So, however, you've got this close here. So if the market did pop up to that 737.95, you're going to get some resistance there. So. Anyways, let's get over. We are done with that. Let's go over and start with, actually, let's just start with Tesla, right? All right, Tesla right now. Let's go over to this, supply and demand. And boom. So nothing's changed on here. I haven't done anything to the charts. We went over this yesterday. This is a midline deep pullback here that you like that pullback here. This was the first line of defense, and we lost that. So right now, it's looking like it's respecting these levels. I said yesterday in the trading, if we got over this 403 level, that you were going to pop, and sure enough, we did right in the morning. Really aggressive move, right? And I hope you guys all caught that. I actually caught that move in the morning as well. So very important that I know this is a wide range here, this 382 to 90, but it's an $8 range considering on Tesla. If you lose 382.78, 372.58 is your next line. I don't have anything in between here to support that. So I think that if there is a flush, very important that we are going to hold. Then I would say this 386.21. Trying to see if that's an open point of control or not. Let's get over to the point of controls. So this that was a filled point of control, and we did fill that on the 18th last week. But you could see that it was giving you some decent support here. So 388.20 if we did flush down there. 390.76 is a Friday close from June 5th. I don't mind that level as well. As far as pop and fades here, so what yesterday did and what the aftermarket created today, open point of control above us 406.68. So if the market did move up that way to gravitate to that level, you're going to get that resistance also sitting above yesterday's close at 405.05. So big gap down here right now. So again, not a lot of volume here, people. Look at down here. There's no volume. No volume in this move whatsoever. Let me just get back here to normal. There we go. So I tell you all the time, don't pay attention to this candle here. Let's clean this up. Don't pay attention to the thickness of this candle and the wick of this. I'll give you a comparison here. This is a candle right here. There's 48,000 shares traded here. Okay. And now look at the size of this candle here. And now let's look at the size of this last little tiny candle here. 1.8 million shares traded here versus this, right? So this is where your eyes gravitate. Down here, look at your volumes. Look at, so don't be misled by, oh, you see a big red candle, oh, I got to sell, or a big green candle, oh, I got to buy. No, watch your volumes and then watch the consistency with those volumes, right? So today, right now, I would say 390.76 is your line in the sand. You need to hold that level. If you lose that, you're coming down here into this trend line that I have here. Yeah, it's sitting at 387.77, and then possibly to fill this open point of control, 382.21. That was open from June 11th. That actually filled, I think. I just went over that. That filled. So you're going to look at for support right there. And then 395.18 is a high from April 30th. And then, of course, below that, what we're talked about is a November 25th, November of 2025 low at 382.78. Don't forget, we do have this open point of control still sitting down here at 333.97. I wanted that to fill a couple of months ago, so we can keep moving higher. That being said, we do have some open point of controls above us. We still have a 455.18 point of control from January 5th. And then we have that last one at 478.38 from December 26th of last year. So I like having point controls open above us because it gives me a little confidence that we could head there. Everything is based on probabilities, and I've been studying these point controls for a long time now. And they stay on the charts for a little while, but it seems that the market gravitates there at some point. I mean, we did have a few point of controls that filled this year that were on here since September, that filled last month that were on here since September of last year. So just watch as the market starts gravitating to those levels, and then you can know, okay, well, this could be a good level for an entry long, or maybe if you feel that we're quite a bit away from this, maybe this would be a good short and take it down to that price level. Let's go over SpaceX real quick, and then we will get on to what we're going to do for options, and we'll go over the indicator really quick. SpaceX, we were calling this before. I had this level in here. 150 was the opening day trade on the IPO. We're hovering right above it right now for all you SpaceX traders that, if you really want to, take that chance to trade this right now. This level right here, you've got the opening low at 135. I would say if you lose this 147.06, you're coming down to 135. You could see this a beautiful regressional trend line that's starting to form right now on the upside for today. You need to get above this 158. Call it 159.55 in order to push back higher. Excuse me. right here, this level. 159, I'll mark that. That's your line in the sand for the upside right there. If you can get above that level, you're pushing into 165.52. It's an open point of control. You know, the point of controls are starting to set right now. Here's an open point of control from yesterday, 165.52. If you popped up there, I would anticipate a little resistance on that front as well. If you are trading the options for SpaceX, they have weekly expirations now. Last week they didn't. They only had monthlies. Now they put the weeklies in, which they expire on Fridays. And I would start out with the 170 calls. At right here, you've got the close at 275. May open up in the twos. May be okay. And then I would put the 145 puts up here. Closed in the 395. It'll probably open up in the fours. But I've been dabbling in it a little bit, and it's starting to move a little bit like Tesla. So who knows? Maybe 3-4 months from now, we switch from Tesla and we go to SpaceX. So, but we'll see. We got to see. The float is pretty tiny, not tiny, but it's only I think like what I say, the 85 billion the other day, which sounds like a lot, but compared to Nvidia, that it's 1/5 of Nvidia's float. And what does a float mean? That means that there's not a lot of stock out there. You're going to have violent moves. Anyways. For Tesla today, let's go. Let's see here. Tesla, we are going to do. Tesla, we're going to have tomorrow's expiration date at for June 24th. And we're going to start with the 400 calls. We had, you know, the market closed at 405, 405.05. So it's about $10 lower right now, so probably going to open up in the twos, maybe. I would say maybe threes, $5 loss on the premium there. And then on the put side, we got the 390 puts. It closed at $1.23, and I would say we're probably going to open up, you know, probably maybe in the fours, maybe fives. So these are what I'm going to have up here for Tesla today. As far as the indicator, you know, it gave you great direction yesterday. And I've been telling it like, oh, I've been classifying it like, oh, this is a indicator to tell you when to take your trades, when or not to take your trades. Well, the one thing it does is it prevents you from, it's got a, let me put it up here. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So TradingView seems to be working very nicely. And so let's just make this bigger here so we can all look at this. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so it has a chase indicator on here. So it's giving you, it lays out a range here. You don't have to do anything. So it's a charting tool for you and analysis. So it's telling you, yes, this could be an area if you decide to take a trade. Now you have to make these decisions on your own. What this tool does for you is it takes away all the legwork for you. It plots your opening day range. It plots a midline range of that. Then it also, behind the scenes, it gives you an ATR of a break. So right here, it was telling you you could take a long. Now, obviously, if you took that long, you were successful, right? And then it gives you that exit, right? And so what that exit is a no chase indicator. So it's telling you, well, if you're thinking about chasing the market right now, I would be careful of it. So one thing I want to show you that was interesting. This is a 2-minute chart from yesterday. So the 2-minute chart, if you made that decision, take your trade, you were successful. If you know, whatever price target you had, and then so here's the 1-minute chart from yesterday, and the 1-minute chart was the same thing, right? And it gives you your exit signs, that yellow box. Very clean move yesterday. But one thing I want to show you that's interesting, as you move up from the 2-minute and you go to the 5-minute chart from yesterday, and let me go here. So here was your 5-minute chart yesterday. And if you notice on the 5-minute chart, there was no signal created yesterday on the 5-minute chart. And if you want to know why, the reason being is because it had a no chase guard on this tool. Meaning that if it's too explosive, they don't want you to chase it. Even though it was successful, it will pretty much tell you it's a no chase guard on there. It won't indicate a break of that range, even though it broke the 5-minute range, right? But it was just too explosive a move, so it I was identifying it as a chase, too explosive, and the risk was too high. And so now one thing I want to point out to you, the beautiful thing about TradingView and what it has, in the lower right-hand corner, it's going to give you a little table. It's going to identify, so right here, it plots it out for you, and over to the right, it identifies it with text, right? So it's telling you what the opening range was, 399.50, and what the low was, 394.41, and then it tells you the mid-range, 396.96 was yesterday's mid-range, okay? Now, and then it gives you the total range, which is $5 range. Below that, it gives you a quality, 0 to 100 on the range quality, meaning if the range, if it gives you like a 30 or 40 cent range, it's going to give you a very low number here. And then it will give you, right now, because we're on, not in trading live, it gives you a grade. So here right now, it's starting to give you the grade. I think right now we're 756. So it's giving you a grade of a long entry. So it's giving you a C, and it's giving you a number of 54. You want to be the B to A grade to be confident on your direction you're taking your trade. So here is the short grade. So you can see the B grade is a C, your short grade is a B. So what is it telling you? So it's telling you could be maybe thinking about setting up a short trade based on whatever strategy you have. And then here the trend is showing a long bias, right? Which is interesting. So this long bias right now is everything that's just happening right now in the last few minutes. So if I went, let's just see if I change this to a 15-minute, what it shows us. So the 15-minute is still showing us a long bias as well. I wonder, I only have this on for the 1 or 15-minute chart. So now all of a sudden, down below its state, it says no active trade, meaning that there's no trade that initiated. If you were trading here, that's a 15 minutes. Let's get back to a 2-minute, which shows you better. So if you were trading on a 2-minute or 1 minute, where are you? Okay, here we are. So if you're trading on a 1 minute and this is where you were, it would show you it would say active trade. And then right now, obviously below that, it says out of session, we're not trading. That tells you the timeline. And then it's the filter, you got a VWAP and you've got an EMA. So very exciting, more things to come on this, and it works on everything, people. I've been putting it on, let's see if I can get this up here. I've been putting it on all different stocks, and it's been working like a champ on all the different stocks. So stay tuned for that. That's coming shortly. What it's looking like is that we are probably going to be doing this through TradingView. The script is coming through very clean, but stay tuned for that, and then you'll get some notifications on how we're going to go about that. So anyways, getting back to today, again, I'm going to do for Tesla, I'm going to have the 400 calls expire tomorrow and the 390 puts expire tomorrow. If you want to see that trade happening along with the tool, join the Discord community, and then you can get a free day trial also. Anyways, that's going to be about it. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. And if I don't see you in the trade room at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.